I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday morning, November 24th. A very cold morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region. The temperatures way down in the 20s in most suburban locations to the north and west of the big cities along the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. In fact, many spots reached their lowest temperatures so far this season in the overnight hours. Low to mid-20s in some isolated areas to the north and west of D.C., Philly, and New York City. Yesterday, there were a few scattered snow flurries in the Mid-Atlantic region, and today will be another cold day, colder than normal. However, it will certainly feel less harsh than it was on yesterday because the winds will be light and variable for the most part during the afternoon hours here on Wednesday. A great day for travel anywhere in the eastern part of the nation. Meanwhile, it turns milder on Thanksgiving Day, but that warm-up is just a temporary thing as another strong cold front arrives by Friday morning. Friday itself turns into a windy and cold day and stays cold this upcoming weekend. And we've talked about a potential threat for snow in the Mid-Atlantic region later in the weekend, early part of next week, Sunday, Monday time frame. And indeed, that is still on the table, especially for the Sunday night time frame right now. I want to show big differences in the GFS in this particular case, the models that have taken place last night's run versus the night before. So really 24-hour difference in the initialization of this particular model. This is the last night operational run of the GFS, a 0Z run for Sunday night. And we're looking at the vorticity field. And we've been talking about over the past few days the possibility of something developing near the Mid-Atlantic coastline, partly as a result of some of the teleconnection indices that we looked in on earlier in the week. The NAO, for example, sliding into negative territory and then quickly shifting up into positive territory. Sometimes that kind of a quick shift is associated with a storm system. So even though the models, up till now, we're not really saying too much about the threat late in the weekend, now they may be picking up on that. And again, I think it's certainly on the table, and again, those teleconnection indices were giving us an idea that something could happen. This is the forecast map of the vorticity field for Sunday night, right in this region. Pretty impressive. Take a look at the difference from 24 hours earlier. The same operational run of the GFS, 0Z, the night before last, for Sunday night. Had nothing over the Mid-Atlantic region, something still upstream. It changed to this in a 24-hour period. So again, this is something we have to continue to monitor. There may be changes over the next day or two, but something to focus in on. Now let's go back to the beginning of this particular model run for the beginning from this point on Wednesday morning and go into that late weekend time period. First of all, again, a pretty nice day today in much of the eastern half of the nation, albeit cold. It will be less windy than it was on Tuesday. Then we look upstream, and after a pretty nice turkey day with temperatures up in the 50s for afternoon highs in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City compared to the 40s today, another strong cold front arrives. Here we are by Friday morning. This upper level feature is associated with the next cold air mass that pushes into the Mid-Atlantic region on Friday. Again, a windy and cold day, much like yesterday. Temperatures well below normal, and certainly highs confined to the 40s. It stays cold on Saturday, and cold air will be in place for the upcoming weekend. And then we again look to that next potential system here. This is by Sunday afternoon and then Sunday night time frame. This could very well set off the formation of a low pressure area off the Mid-Atlantic coastline that could throw some snow back into the I-95 corridor region. Again, right now we're talking about Sunday night time frame. Well, now let's look at the 850 millibar temperature anomalies going forward. This is using the 0Z run of the GFS. Cold air hanging on in the eastern part of the nation today, but again, much less windy, much less harsh of a feeling this afternoon as compared to yesterday. And then a quick warm-up comes from the Great Lakes all the way into the northeastern part of the nation. Temperatures back up in the 50s with some sunshine on Thanksgiving Day all along the I-95 corridor region. But that warm-up is short-lived. The next cold front, the next cold air mass arrives by Friday. Shopping day for a lot of people will be a windy and cold day. And the cold air sticks around right into the upcoming weekend. Here we are on Saturday. Cold throughout much of the eastern third of the nation, warmer than normal out across much of the western half of the nation. And then we kind of have a reinforcing cold shot coming in associated with that next wave in the upper part of the atmosphere. And this is the system to watch for the Sunday, Monday time frame, as again, a reinforcing shot of cold air, and by the time we get to Monday morning, still way below normal in the Mid-Atlantic region. We'll see if low pressure does manage to form near the Mid-Atlantic coastline at this particular time. Well, let's now walk through the surface forecast maps from the Zero-Z GFS model run. High pressure in control. Very nice travel day for a vast majority of the nation. That is not too typical for this time of the year to have nice travel throughout most of the nation. We have high pressure in complete control. Still a cold air mass, but not nearly as windy in the eastern states as it was on Tuesday. And then milder on Thursday, up and down the eastern seaboard, a mild day for Thanksgiving. And then upstream, that cold front will bring some showers into the eastern states in the overnight hours, Thursday night going into Friday morning. Not at all a heavy rain event. And then the bulk of the day on Friday for the Mid-Atlantic, for the Great Lakes, for the Northeast, cold and windy. Certainly some scattered snow showers, especially up along the Great Lakes region, lake effect type snows with strong northwest winds. Again, another windy day to close out the work week. You can call it a work week that ends on Friday with winds gusting up to 30 to 40 miles per hour in the big cities along the I-95 corridor region on Friday and Friday afternoon into Friday night. It stays cold on Saturday. A dry look to the nation as we begin the upcoming weekend, and then we'll start looking at that upstream system here. We saw the vorticity field very impressive on last night's run of the GFS. 24 hours earlier, it had nothing over the Mid-Atlantic region, so we'll follow that over the next few days. And here is what could happen. A little low pressure area may form right along the Mid-Atlantic coastline late Sunday night time frame, and certainly has the potential to throw some snow back into the Mid-Atlantic region. Let's go all the way into Monday morning, and here's a pretty healthy looking storm system by that time up along Long Island, southern part of New England, still with the possibility of snow being back into the I-95 corridor region. Something we'll follow over the next few days. For certain, today, cold, little to no wind. Tomorrow, milder in much of the eastern U.S. thanks to a southwest flow on the backside of high pressure. But that warm up on Thursday, short-lived. Another cold air mass arrives on Friday. It stays cold this week, and we'll watch for the threat for a system later in the week, and we're talking Sunday, Monday time frame in the Mid-Atlantic region. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.